So I recently bought a Kallax storage unit from IKEA, and I've actually put together the base unit itself already, and it looks a bit like this. I'll just show you. So there we go. Look, there we go. So I've got basically this is a 4x2 that I bought, and I've actually bought another 2x2 there. I've put them next to each other just because I wanted to fill the space and have as many sort of units as possible. As you can see, this is not a problem with the furniture here, more my floor that's not level. So I think here, because there's a bit of a gripper rod under the carpet, it just means that there's a little gap. I'm okay, I can live with that, but it's not the product, which I think is actually really good and looks kind of cool. It's very flexible the way you can use it, so there's different inserts that you can have, or you could just have them open, and it look really good with books, actually, probably with records as well. But the thing I want to concentrate on this video today is you can get these inserts like, you can get pulley-outy things, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but also the door inserts there, look. And I've already put one in, I've bought two of these, and that's what it looks like. I'm using it to store some bubble wrap. Actually, I'm not, so that's just in there for now. But as you can see, it looks neat and tidy. And yeah, I think it's good. I think the doors were £9 each from IKEA. So anyway, let's have a look at how you go about fitting one of these. So I'm actually going to fit it in. I'm going to clear this one out and stick it in there so it's symmetrical. Here we have a Kallax door insert, still sealed. I'm going to just show you quickly how to assemble this and stick it in that hole. Okay. And to do this, you're just going to need a screwdriver, crosshead. I've got this little stubby one, which does the job nicely. I've already used this to put that other one there together earlier. Alright, so first things first, I'm just going to get into the packaging. Now, I'm going to just use the screwdriver, but, you know, maybe you'll use a knife or some scissors. If you're doing this, if you're a youngster, get an adult to help you with sharp objects. If you're not a youngster, congratulations for being an adult, but please be careful also, because adults can hurt themselves too. Adults still bleed. Right, so you've got a bag, look, with various bits and bobs in there, and then the rest of the unit is fairly straightforward, to be fair. You've got the door itself here. It's a little bit marked there, but not a problem. Wipe off. That's what's nice about these Kallax units, as well as being flexible. They've got a nice finish, I think, actually. I know some people moan about IKEA and say, it's not flat packed, it's not real furniture. But for certain looks, certain rooms, certain styles, like this room, it's white. It fits, it goes well, it looks nice, it's easy to keep clean. You've then got this kind of folding fake insert, which goes inside the hole. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. You get the obligatory IKEA instruction sheet, which I always think is useful because there's no words really, and it's just sort of any language you can understand. It's just, I like this, look, confused, have questions, use the phone, ring IKEA. You know, you can't go wrong with that. It doesn't matter what language you speak, you know what that means, don't you? So there's a few steps to go through in here. I'm going to take this box and throw it away. Okay, here we go, let's look at this. So the first thing you need to do is get this insert, make sure, this is the key here, look, that it's facing outward where that fold is, and basically just kind of fold it in on itself like that. Note that the flaps are folded outwards at the two sides. Okay, we're going to be basically taking the box and folding it like this. See this bit here where my thumb is? That folds, but you want to keep that straight. You need to fold that back because you'll be basically screwing this from this direction into the side of the Kallax unit itself. You need to fold this bit back because you'll be screwing, in this case, through these holes into the side of the Kallax unit. They're only short screws, they just go in slightly, but it's enough to keep it in place, okay? I'm going to put it to the side for a second. What I'm going to do now is step 2, so you basically need to lay the door down and put the hinge bits into these two holes, okay, as per number 2. So what we do is So I'm going to take these, two of these. There we go. They've got a slightly, as you can see, like a rounded bottom. So you basically want to be putting these in there. One like that and one like that. Yeah. And then you want to be taking, there's two different types of screw you get. There is a pointy one that looks, well, I guess pointy like that. Is that in focus? It is now. Pointy. And there's some that look stubby like that. Stubby, okay? And the ones you want to be using for this one is the stubby one. So take 4 of these. We're going to be putting them into there. Okay, so I've got my short screwdriver and I've got these stubby screws. Basically just going to screw these in gently but firmly like this. Okay, so there's one. I'll tighten that one up in a second. Find with these, it's always good to get them in, you know, a decent amount, but not give them the final tighten until you've got both in. So okay, I'm going to tighten that one up now. And this one too. Oops. There we go, that's one done. Let's do the other one, just move this round and get this one done too. Same principle, obviously. All over again. So I like these door inserts because it means that if you've got stuff that might look, you know, I think the books look good on display. And as I say, I imagine records would also be good and things. But there might be some things you want to store in those units that don't look that good, look a bit messy. Like maybe like, I don't know, a box of pens, I don't know. Just things that don't look good in space. So having a door just to shut those off and conceal them is a good idea. Right, I've done both of them. The next stage is basically saying that you could put the door on to open either side. I'm not that fussy, to be honest, which way it opens, but obviously that might be a key decision for some. In your packet, you get this funny plastic thing, and you might be wondering, what is that? And basically, this is just a measuring device. So if you can see in this picture here, it basically asks you to put this in your existing Kallax shelving unit and draw a little line. This is just so that you can line the front of the door up correctly and it's not sticking out too far. Okay, so you basically need to draw a line, okay, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to grab a pencil from this box of pencils and pens. That'll do. I'm going to do exactly what I've just said. I'm going to put this plastic template in here like that. Can you see? And you basically want to be making a mark at the end. Just a small mark will do, like that. So I'm going to push it to this side and make a little mark at the back of that plastic bit there. You need to make sure when you're doing this that this is hooked over correctly there, so you're getting the distance right. Okay, so I've made a mark on both sides. There we go. So now we're on to step 5. It's time to put that insert in inside the hole, and you push it in, basically making sure that these two sets of holes are like that. We've already pre-folded it, remember earlier, so we've got it here. I say we've pre-folded it, that should be folded around to there, and this edge should be folded around to there. These are those holes that the diagram is showing us. So we're going to pick this up and basically shove it in. We need to make sure that we try to line up the front of those inserts with that line that we drew, okay, on either side. And then we'll be screwing the pointy screws into those two holes at the top and the bottom. So this bit goes in there, like that, and this bit folds over and tucks in to there. We basically need to push it back so it lines up with those marks that we made there. So I've got my screw and I'm going to screw them into there. 2 of them. I'm going to start with the bottom. Don't suppose it really matters. And you want the screw to be on the open side. There's also an arrow there. Can you see it's pointing outward? That needs to be at the front of the unit. So remember, that's got to be lined up. And then these go in those front holes. Just start by getting this first one in here. We'll work on the second one in a minute. And you have to apply a little bit of pressure from the other side, like that. And as you're tightening it, you'll see this gets pulled in to the side of the unit, as is happening now. That one's in pretty firmly. Let's take another screw and do the same for the top, like so. And again, I'm going to just hold it tight whilst I'm screwing. Round and round we go. That's good. Final tighten of both. That's in place. Great. We just basically need to do the same for the top now. Okay, so I've got the other one of these. I've got two more screws. I'm going to basically just repeat that exact same process at the top. There we go. I'm not sure what I'm going to store in here, to be honest. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't given it any thought. Just put the second screw in, like that. And I'm going to apply some pressure again here whilst I'm tightening. Okay. Tighten up nice and tight. Go back to the bottom one. Give that a final turn. So now you can see this is sitting nice and flush and tight against the wall of the unit. The next thing obviously is to screw the other side in, just to get that secured. The two remaining pointy screws, and screw them in. Now this has moved slightly during that earlier stage. I'm going to move it again just so it's level there with the pencil mark we made earlier, and that's good. So I'm going to hold that in place and just start screwing that in, like so. I think the one thing I would say is, if you ever decided to remove the door and the insert, you have to be realistic about the fact that you can have some small screw holes in the side of your unit. So just bear that in mind, you know. Don't kind of think, oh, I'll put it here. Oh, actually, I'll just take it out again. Oh, I've made some marks. It's in there for the long haul, really. Anyway, that's for you to decide, not me. So this is so I've nearly finished securing the inside of the box. And the other thing this gives you, of course, is a back, because this Kallax unit by default does not have a back. So things could fall out of the back potentially. But anyway, that's good. Nice, just finish tightening those up. That's pretty good. Okay, and you can see now that this is nice and flush and secure against the wall too. We're back to the door now. Just going to take this small packet, which actually has got the door handle. It's like a little silver button, which has got a nice simple design in it. You've also got this screw that goes into the back. So put the screw into the back hole like that. Okay, so there's the back. I'm going to just screw the handle on. Okay, should find the thread and tighten up nicely. Yeah, nice little handle. That I like that design. Okay, so we're nearly there now. We've got the inside built, we've got the door ready to go on, and really we've just got to put the door on. And the way you do this is you just basically want to be hooking these bits over there on the top and the bottom at the same time. Okay, and then once they're in place, if you need to, you can loosen this screw slightly and push it in about halfway. Okay, and then tighten. Now we can come back and we can make adjustments if we need to afterwards. When you're screwing this, you'll notice this bit begins to clamp onto the side, which is good. I'm going to do the same for the bottom, about halfway down. I'm going to start screwing that in and watching this metal case clamping onto the side. Give that a good tighten, top and bottom, like so. And then our door is on and we can shut it. Beautiful. Looks lovely. These are little kind of gel stoppers, and you basically add them onto the top and the bottom corners there, and they'll stop it from banging when the door closes. Okay, so let's do that now. You basically just peel them off, and like I say, put them right in the corner, as far into the corner as you can go. There's one. So with those on now, it means I can shut the door and I can almost like let it go. It's not going to slam. It's just going to close nicely. If your door doesn't quite line up properly, it's really just a case then of going in and making some minor adjustments to the hinges. But that one looks good to me. And there you have it. Both doors are now in the unit, and I'm happy with those. Thanks, IKEA. This is a good piece of furniture. So there we go. Pretty simple, really. I mean, I've dragged that out really because I've done it step by step, and I've done way too much talking, and I've kind of over-engineered it, I suppose. It's a very simple thing to put together. I think it looks nice, and they're quite cheap as well. So if you're thinking of getting one of these and you're not sure, if you've got a bit of a problem fitting it, I hope that this video, this kind of walkthrough has been in some way helpful. I've enjoyed making it.